I ran a motherfucking marathon. Yeah. I did that shit. I ran a motherfucking marathon. Okay. Before we get into this podcast, I'm doing a giveaway on all 3 of my social media accounts. All you have to do is comment Muscle Mommy and tag a friend. You're going to win some bracelets, a Muscle Mommy shirt, and a blender bottle, shaker bottle that says Muscle Mommy on it. Go enter. It's so easy. Go do it. Thank you. Enjoy. Let's take our breath together. Let's do it. Here we go. Inhale through our nose. Expand those tummies. Hold. Exhale through our mouth. Okay. Hi, Muscle Mommies and Muscle Daddies. I'm batch recording right now. I'm on episode number 2. I don't know if I'll make it to episode number 3. Depends how long this takes. I want to talk about running a marathon. If you guys are thinking about it, I want to talk about it if you're thinking about running, anything running related, the lessons I've learned, just to make your life a little bit more inspired, because this is something that I truly loved. And yes, I know running may not be for everyone. Joking, I don't believe that. I genuinely think it's just you gave up. There's nothing more I have to say about that. But yeah, so we're going to talk about running. Let's start with the fact that everybody can run. People like to say, I can't run. They're like, you don't know me. Like, I can't run. Like, I just can't. No, you can. Like, everybody can. Because anybody who ever started running never just like went out on a 3-mile run and was like, yeah, fuck, that was easy. Like, everybody started from somewhere, and it's never easy when you start. I didn't start running till I joined ROTC, and I had like a summer before I knew I was in the program, and that's when I started running with my friend every day, and we would run almost a mile around like a park every day. Well, maybe not every day. Maybe it was like, I don't know how many days a week we did it, but we did it in the morning. It wasn't easy. And you often think like, I just can't do this. Like, I'm not cut out for this. My body's not cut out for this. This is too hard. You don't need to start running by running 3 miles or 4 miles or whatever. Like, you start what works for you. Even if it's a run walk, if you have to like run and then walk, that's how we all started. We all didn't start just knowing how to run a fucking marathon. And trust me, I never thought I'd be running a marathon. Like, honestly, saying that, it still hasn't hit me yet. It's been a week. I've never thought I'd be saying I ran a marathon until I was like later in life. I'm actually very shocked at myself that I did this. Everybody who ran a marathon probably had a point in their life where they thought they couldn't run a marathon. Almost probably everybody that has ran a marathon has thought that. So I'm telling you now, if you're sitting here thinking, can I? You can, and you will. So we're going to first talk about the mindset of running. Why is it so fucking hard? Running is so mentally challenging. You are putting your body in an uncomfortable position for an extended period of time, whether it's a minute for you, 2 minutes, or whether that's 30 minutes. Whatever's uncomfortable for you, it's uncomfortable. You want to stop. You're like, people reach runner's high. What is that? Can I get to that point? Running is very, very hard. So if you are starting out running, like, validate yourself. It's hard, but it's doable and you could do it. If you guys are starting to run, set little goals for yourself. I figured, okay, I need to make running a little bit less tough on my mental. So what I did was I adjusted my goals. A lot of you that know me know that I used to have some problems with my mindset behind working out and eating. And a lot of the problems were because my goals were unattainable goals. They weren't good goals. They were just things that had to do with my appearance, how people viewed me, and it didn't get me anywhere. And it made working out a lot worse, and it became obsessive. I had an unhealthy relationship with working out, and it wasn't good for me. But with running, it has healed a lot of those issues because it's a constant battle. It's a mind battle with every step for most of the time. If it's a tough run, if it's a tough day, whatever the scenario is, if you're tired. And it's also a mental battle because it depends what you're telling yourself while you run. So if you're running because you want to lose weight, I'm assuming your running thoughts are going to be very negative. It's almost like you're degrading yourself into motivating yourself like, you fucking little bitch, keep fucking running. You can't run fast enough. This person's faster than you, just to get yourself to run faster. Personally, that don't work with me. I don't think that works long term, and I don't think that's healthy. Maybe it works long term for some people, but I don't think it's healthy. If you tell yourself the whole time these affirmations of like, I can do this, I'm doing this for my body, I'm doing this for my brain, I can do hard things, that's what's going to help you. What goal makes more sense to make you feel less shitty when you run? So what I mean by that is sometimes when I would get in my head about mileage, I would change my goal to time. So if I'm like, I just want to be able to run 2 miles and I wasn't hitting that 2-mile mark, I would be like, all right, I just want to run for 20 minutes. And I think for me personally, running for time really, really helped when I first started out, because the idea of time is very shocking. Think about it this way. I ran 26.2 miles versus me saying I ran for 5 hours and 35 minutes. When you think about somebody doing anything for 5 hours and 35 minutes, and you think about them running for that long, you're like, holy shit. So sometimes it may just be that you need to change, whether it's I'm just going to focus on my pace, or I'm just going to focus on the amount of time I'm running for, or I'm just going to focus on how many miles I'm running for. Figure out what works most for you mentally. If you feel too much pressure on yourself, you're probably just going to want to stop and give up. Give yourself compassion. Know that anytime you go out on a run, that is a win. Anytime you show up for yourself and your body, whether it's going to the gym, going a run, it is a win. You do not need to be this person in this perfect body. You don't need to be thin. You don't need to have small legs. You don't need to have a thigh gap. You don't need to be anything. You are fine the way you are. Your body is beautiful the way it is, and your body is capable of doing hard things. You can run. It's just a matter of if you allow yourself to believe that. You can run. Anybody can run. Anybody can run. We're humans. We are born to run. Another way to make your goals something that motivates you to get out and run would be to sign up for a race. I personally love signing up for races. I remember my first race, I think it was a 5K. And like I could run 3 miles on my own, but like why wouldn't I run 3 miles with people? That's so much fun. It was also for an eating disorder race, so I was like so excited to do it for that. And then another time I ran a 10K. I never ran a 10K before I ran a 10K. So like I had never run 6 miles before I ran those 6 miles during a 10K I signed up for, and I did it with one of my friends, and it honestly was like so amazing. And my friend Lexi, who I always text because she does triathlons and she does long distance running, and I would always be like, oh my God, like I've never ran 6 miles before. What do you think it's gonna be? She's like, you don't need to run 6 miles before you go run 6 miles that day. Like you can do it. You've ran enough to be able to do that. And she was right, because I was out in that course and it was like 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles. And I'm like, 4 miles? I ran 4 miles? It feels like I haven't run anything yet. You can sign up for 5Ks. You can sign up for 10Ks. I think the thing you have to remember most when you sign up for these races is you can walk to the finish line. You can crawl to the finish line. You don't need to be running the whole time. Nobody needs to be running the whole time. No one's fucking watching you being like, well, you know what? You didn't technically run that long because you were walking some of that. No, this is your journey. This is your race, your run. If you want to walk there, you're going to walk there. Anytime during that marathon, I was like, fuck, I've got a lot of miles to go. I'm like, you know what? If I have to arrive at that finish line crawling, I will crawl. You could do it. You can do anything. Next is half marathons. Half marathon, definitely scared to sign up for that when I signed up for it. And seeing the fact that like I had to run 10 miles one point, I was like, fuck. And 10 miles was my peak run. And I was like, this is going to be hard. And it was. Like that 10 miles was very, very hard. But the half marathon day, like mile 9, the pain started setting in, but I still felt really good and ended being like, yeah, I could run farther than this. But again, I never ran a half marathon before I ran a half marathon. I also didn't run a marathon before I ran a marathon. You just have to get like time on your feet and get that practice in. And I'm not a coach, so I'm not going to really sit here and tell you all the things that you need to do. But I like to hit on like the mindset aspect of this, because running is genuinely just a mental battle. It's like this battle between the voice in your head that's like, you can't do anything, you can't do it, you're not capable of doing this. And then the part of you that's like, I can do anything I set my mind to. Like it truly is like that thing they're telling you as a kid, as like dream big, go achieve your dreams. And as a kid, you're all enthusiastic, like, yeah, I can achieve these dreams. And then you get out there, you get on the course, you get out into the field that you're in, and it gets scary. And you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. nobody's cut out for it. You cut yourself out for it. Like, it's not so, like, nobody's just cut out for the things that they're so talented in. Like, you practice, you become cut out for what you're doing. That's where we need to take away the stereotype, like only certain people can run. Only this pace is considered a runner's pace. Only this amount of running considers you a runner. If you're going out and run, you're a runner. Claim the title. Claim it. The second thing I want to talk about is preparation for the marathon. Do your research. But remember that you're not going to be able to know everything before you get out there, and you don't need to wait to start your running plan until you have all the research. Just start, and then you start learning as you go along. You'll learn through, oh, I have a pain here, let me figure this out. And then you start looking up some physical therapist TikToks, and they help you out. Or sometimes you're like, oh, I feel very, very low energy. And then you start looking up like the food and nutrition behind running, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I had to do that. Or you can go into gels and energy and how you keep energy while you're running. And then you learn all those things, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that either. And there's all these things you learn along the way with trial and error. And that's what I really like about training, is it's all trial and error. You don't go into a training knowing everything about the sport you're doing or what's going to come with it. You learn as you go. And sometimes you learn the hard way. Sometimes you go too hard and then you injure yourself and you have to learn from the injury. But truly, it is a really fun ride, because if you listen to your body and you're doing the research that you need to do, it can be really, really fun, and it could be really enjoyable. You are the person that determines how each run is going to feel. Did you fuel enough? Did you hydrate before? Did you prepare for this? Like, did you pick out those shorts that don't make your thighs chafe? Did you make sure you ate enough carbs the night before? Did you make some choices with food that were going to give you the runs when you started going out? Because yes, it is a thing where runners literally need to shit their pants when they start running, because the blood is like working with your legs and your arms, and then it's not sending any to the digestive system to help it digest. And then shoot, here comes diarrhea, and go find a fucking porta potty or you're fucked. So remember that you determine how good your runs are. It's all those things: hydration, sleep, food. All of the things will help you on your runs. But again, like, you can go on a run and you've done everything right and still things go wrong, and that's okay. But I'm saying you starting a training plan is all trial and error, and it's all based on how you feel, how your body feels. Listen to your body. And even if you're starting to run and you don't even run normally at all, and you're just listening to this podcast, you want to just get out there and go run for the first time or maybe the 10th time, know that, like, you can get advice from online, but your body is going to tell you what you need. If you need rest, you need rest. If you need to do more in the gym, you need to do more in the gym. A big thing I learned when I was marathon training is when you're really tight in some spots and sore. So like my calves were really, really bad at one point. And they were saying, like, a lot of people think soreness just means you need to stretch more, but it actually just means those part of the things that are connected to that muscle are just a lot weaker, and you're not able to handle the load. So you need to load the muscle. So then I went into like a whole thing with my Achilles and my calves, and I would include it in like every lifting routine. A lot of people also sometimes neglect lifting when they're running, but it's very important you don't, because that strength is very, very, very important. And through all of the things that happen out there on a run, you're going to be able to dial in when you get home and figure out, how do I either prevent this for next run, or what did I like about that run that I'm going to keep doing? Did my shoes hurt? Do I need to get bigger shoes? Do I need to get better socks? There are so many different things that you're going to find out through every run, not just about your body, but also about your mind. You're going to realize that you could push yourself past limits you never even thought were possible. And you are going to realize a ton of things about yourself, the effects of it on your mental health, and what running truly means to you when you're out there over a consistent amount of time. Take your training seriously. To me, I can't imagine training for something so big as a marathon and not taking it seriously. Like, to me, that's kind of something where it's second nature for me to take something like that seriously. If I want to prepare myself for a run, I'm going to take that seriously. I'm going to take the easy run seriously. I'm going to take my food seriously. The problem is, though, sometimes you don't know how to take it seriously, and you also don't know what's good, what's bad for you. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing, and I think that's where we can fall short. I'm sure after I run more marathons, I'm going to figure out a lot of things that I used to do that I'm going to have to tweak for the future. Take what is in your control seriously. If you know, everyone knows, like, sleep is going to help you. If you're depriving yourself of sleep, like, you can sleep more. If it's the day before and you're not carb loading, like take responsibility for that. Like you're choosing not to carb load. That's your problem. And I've been in that position many, many times where actually that was more forgetfulness. I would forget to carb load and it sucked. Don't let your feelings determine your plan. So if you wake up and you're like, I don't feel like running this today, you better get the fuck out of your house and run, because there's a difference between knowing when to rest and just always listening to the, yeah, I'd rather be doing this than this. Like, I just don't feel like it. That's very different from being like, yeah, my body needs a rest. Very, very different. So part of taking a running plan seriously is going out on the runs when you should be going out on runs. If your plan says keep your heart rate in this zone, keep it in that zone. If you're injured, take rest, recover, figure out ways to help this injury. Look up physical therapy things. Also, make sure the people you're listening to online are certified. That may sound obvious, but there's going to be a lot of people out there that post running tips and you're just going to follow them. Like even me, like if I post a workout video, someone's probably going to follow my video. Maybe they see it and they're like, oh, she looks like a trainer. She looks fit. I'm going to go follow her video. And I'm not a trainer. I'm not certified in anything. I don't know shit. So if you want to follow my video, you follow my video. But keep that in mind when you're scrolling through. Like if it's something that you take very seriously, look at their account and figure out who this person actually is. I have been listening to like three people that have really helped me. I'm going to link them below. Not only were they helping me with fueling, they're also helping me with mindset. I also had some influencers that I decided to remove from my page versus like influencers that I really liked having on my page. Influencers that praised body positivity, influencers that were showing me more of the like real sides of running, and the ones who were very transparent and vulnerable. I don't really want to watch influencers that only show the good parts and make everything look so easy. And that's not on them. It's really just like a me thing. Like if everything I see they post makes me feel like I should be doing more, I could be doing more, like I don't really want to feel that way when I hop onto social media. So I just usually unfollow. And sometimes I don't think we realize we're following a lot of people that we actually envy in like a bad way, and then so we just continue to follow them, and I feel like it kind of puts something into our head that we're not always aware about. But really look at the people you follow and the content you watch, because a lot of us are all on social media. And remember, if you don't want some people on your social media because they're making working out look a little bit too unrealistic for you, then unfollow. It's as simple as that. It's nothing against them, just unfollow them. Now I want to go into actually how running the marathon felt. So I went into the marathon thinking like there's a few things I just don't want to happen. I don't want to have to shit my pants because I have really bad stomach issues. Like it couldn't be any, like it's brutal. It's brutal out here. So I was scared that would happen from either anxiety or who knows. I didn't want to get hungry on the run. I didn't want to have any serious calf pain, and I didn't want to have any serious Achilles pain. I obviously didn't want an injury. None of that happened. I was so fucking happy. Mile 1 through, let's say like 9.5. It was exciting. It was very like, wow, like this is really cool. Mile 10, my hips started really hurting. Like they hurt so bad that I was like, this is odd, because I've been running. My long runs usually feel really, really good, but they usually stop at that point, like 10 miles. And I had a 17-mile run during my marathon training, and it felt great. But I got to these 10 miles and I was like, fuck. I was like, this hurts. And that's when you start realizing like I'm going to be in pain for a long time and I'm just going to have to keep pushing. Like pain is temporary. Finishing this is forever. I'm going to have to keep going. I have to. I didn't come this far to only come this far. So you keep going. You push through the pain. You just keep pushing. Every step you just keep on pushing. There's times where I would stop. I would stretch out my hips. I would do a little open the gates, close the gates. But it fucking hurts. It really does. Then you kind of reach, let's say like mile 14 and you're like, fuck yeah, I did a half marathon. Now this is where we have to lock the fuck in. Because once you finish that half marathon, it's more surreal because a lot of people that have run marathons have done the half. Some people haven't. But you know, when you've done a half, you look back at like that. For me, it was a year ago. It's like, I did this a year ago and I finished that half marathon being like, I wonder what it would feel like to do this again. And here you are out on the course, like ready to do that again. So you get to that point and you're like, all right, now I got to do all what I just did again. Having people on the course help tremendously, like genuinely. Every time somebody would call me up and they'd be like, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm at mile 23. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm at mile 20. And then my mom, she's so cute. Like, I was like, oh, I'm at mile 20. And she could hear my voice. And she was like, I know, but you got it. Like, she's like, you're almost there. We're going to be here at this turn and you're going to see this. And I was like, okay. And I just like kept on running, just kept on going. You do have moments where you're happy and like a song comes on and you feel like chills through your body. I think it was David by Lorde, where it was like, she was saying like, I don't belong to anyone. And her fucking Virgin album was so trippy. So like all of the music felt like it was like radiating through me. It was amazing. It was nice to talk to people and make friends on it. Some girl gave me this bracelet. I literally thought that was like, it was so fun because I got to like run with her for a little bit. I met some people that had like just run the New York City Marathon. They were like, I don't know how old they were, but they were like older women. And I was like, damn, you out here and you just fucking ran the New York City Marathon. And the one next to her ran like 15 marathons. I'm like, Jesus, like I'm going to be you one day. I want to be you. But it was amazing. And it's nice. Like seeing people on the sidelines, they're giving you alcohol. Like I don't drink alcohol, but like it's so funny. Like they're giving you alcohol. There's somebody that had a sign that was like, take this mini Aquaphor for your chap nips. Also, like, by the way, I always thought I was crazy for feeling like my nipples were burning on runs. Turns out like everybody experiences that. Put moleskin over your nipples and you'll see like people, like men especially, I feel like you see it the most with, because they don't wear bras, but you see like 2 bloody nipples through like their shirts. It's like, painful. But yeah, your nips hurt. You're gonna get blisters. Your gear is very important. And they always say like, don't try anything new before race day. And it's true. Like buy the right socks, buy shoes you like. If something's not working, change it. Like, I don't know why I made myself suffer for so long and I would have gels that I didn't like. Like, if you don't like the taste of your gels, fucking get new ones. Like, there's so many out there and you're forcing yourself to eat these. Like, no. Fucking get the shit out of here and get the ones you like. I like the humid gels. I really like them. I could put them on my Amazon storefront, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to make an Amazon storefront section. It's linked below, but I'll make a marathon. I'll make it like a running gear section. I think honestly a lot of like the blacking out, when I say blacking out, like almost like when you get to a certain mileage, you're like, man, I can't even remember the last 5 I ran, because you're just pushing through the pain. Maybe like I want to say around mile 20 or 19. Yeah, I would say like up until 20 you're like, damn, how'd I get here? Like, what the fuck? Your feet feel pretty numb. You feel your blisters. You just start to feel everything. And it definitely feels a little torturous, but that's what makes it so good. Because then when you finish, you're like, holy fuck, I just kept going. And the funny part is you finish it and then you can't walk. But meanwhile, you just like somehow kept running that entire time. And now that it's finished, now you can't walk. But you could run before. 20 to the end is hard. It's so hard. And 26, mile 25, I always find this, like the last mile is always so hard for me. The last mile always feels like it's forever. Literally forever. And also you're a little bit spread out too. Like there's parts of the marathon where you're spread out, you're not really with people. You just got to keep locking into your music. Like I just stayed with my music the whole time. I wasn't even too focused on what was playing. I was more just like, I need constant like stimulation to my brain, so I'm not thinking about anything else. There was pickle juice. That was so fun. I love the pickle juice. I had some of the people that were giving out water like throw water on me. They always say it's good to like walk for the aid stations. Like it's okay to walk. You don't need to run the whole time. The signs are awesome. The energy is amazing. Even watching a marathon is so fun. It's so motivating and inspirational. And you just feel so happy for all these strangers. It was just so exciting. Here's the problem is like not a lot of people do marathons when you look at the statistics. But when you're on like Marathon Talk or Runner Talk, which means runner TikTok or marathon TikTok, because your algorithm knows you're running, you feel like everybody's running a marathon. You feel like everybody runs fast. Everybody's doing this. So it kind of like makes you think this is like easy. It's not easy. Like you're out there and you're like, fuck, this shit is hard. Like hard. This is really, really, really hard. But I'm doing it. Like I could do hard things. It's really fun. And then you get to the finish and it's like this beautiful, beautiful moment. I was crying so hard. I was so, so, so happy. And I had just amazing people with me to support me. So it was very surreal. And I was just crossing that finish line, just thinking like, oh, I did this by myself. Like, yes, people here support me, but like I did it by myself. But there was a time where I didn't think I could ever do it. And there are some people to thank from my past that planted the seed in me that I could, because they had those expectations of me that they knew I could do it, which was really nice. I'm glad it was planted in me. I'm glad the seed was put there. But I'm also very, very, very happy that I took that seed and I grew it myself. And I was really the one to finish without the person that put that seed in the first place, because I think we could all understand what I'm getting at right now. But yeah, I was just very happy I did it on my own. I did it. I did my training on my own. I felt very, very empowered by the fact that like I did this by myself. And not to discredit anybody that did it with somebody. I think it's amazing that you did it with someone. The reason why I think I'm just so proud I did it by myself is because the person that I would have kind of done it with is somebody that wasn't helping me grow. They weren't serving me anymore, so I'm not with them anymore. But for people who ran their first marathon or did a race with someone they truly are so grateful that they finished with, like, I'm happy for you. It was just more of a pride moment for me of like, I can do things. I don't need someone to do things with me to do them. In particular, a boyfriend. But that just goes for me because that person's not my boyfriend anymore. But when I did run my first 10K, that was with one of my best friends. So that was very, very exciting, doing it with somebody. I want to talk about something that everybody could take from this, even if you're not thinking of ever running, or if you're just listening because you're a weekly listener. Hi, and thank you. That's so sweet of you. But these are some of the lessons I learned that I think we can all take, no matter if you're a runner or not. So the first one that I used during the marathon and during all of the training was run the mile you're in. This one's really big, and I think we can all take this, is like, stop always trying to run the miles that are coming ahead of you. Like, oh, fuck, I have 10 miles left. I have 14 miles left. Thinking about the load you have coming isn't going to make the load you're carrying now any less heavier. It's just going to make it worse for yourself. If you are running from mile 6 to mile 7, you're just running from mile 6 to mile 7. And then once you get to 7, then you're running from 7 to 8. Don't think like I'm at mile 7 out of 26. And I think that goes for everybody when you're building something for yourself. When it's Monday and you just want to get to Friday, like, live the moment you're in. Be present in the moment and stop trying to be present in the future. Like, when the future comes, you're going to be present then. Be present now, because it's going to be a lot easier for yourself to keep going if you're just thinking about the now. Like, what are the steps I can do now? And for running, it's step one foot in front of the other. But for everything else in life, you have to just keep pushing through what you're doing now, be present in it, and don't keep thinking about how much work you have ahead of you to get to where you want to go. Think about the steps you have to do today and win those steps. Like, win the day so you could win the week, so you could win the month. Win this mile so you could win the marathon. Put your hard work into this moment, and all these moments will eventually add up together to become an entire experience. My next thing is, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I love this one because for me, I relate this to healing. When I was going through a breakup, I thought a lot of the times, and I would say to my friends, I was just like, I just want to get through these feelings. Like, this is so agitating. Like, I feel like I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm just exhausted. And there's a lot of things that can emotionally exhaust us. But you have to remember that we are not trying to sprint to the finish line. This is a marathon for a reason. Healing is a marathon. It takes a long time to get there. Don't try to rush it. If you need to walk, you walk. A lot of people qualify for Boston Marathon by walking when they make themselves walk. You don't need to always be running. You can walk, you can stretch, you can enjoy the view. And that's one of my other favorite things. Sometimes I'll stop on a run because I'm at this beautiful scenic view and I'm like, wait a second, I didn't come this far not to enjoy the view. And then I'm looking around like, this is beautiful. Okay, now I can get back to my run. Know that, like, life is not a sprint. You don't need to just get to the finish line. That's one of my favorite quotes that my dad says. It's about the journey, not the destination. And it truly is. Like, it is about what you are doing right now, not the finish line. You're going to get to that finish line and be like, man, I feel like I wasn't present for any of that. I got what I wanted and now I don't even feel good about it. Like, feel good during the journey. Find the good moments during the journey. Be present in that journey. And then when you get to that finish line, you're going to be so, so proud of yourself for all the times you spent in those those tough moments, those good moments, the waves that you're riding. You don't need to sprint through all of those moments. They're there for a reason. Feel them, experience them, and take them in. My next one is the hardest climbs come with the best views. So with a marathon, you end and you reach this point of like this pride and like this huge feeling of like, holy fuck, I just did that. And you just went through like the hardest 26.2 miles of your life. If you guys feel like you're drowning right now, emotionally, because of work, because of relationships, you will get to a beautiful spot one day because you're doing this hard work. You could be carrying boulders, but you will get to the top one day. You will be where you want to be because you're doing the work now. And it is so incredibly hard, and I'm so incredibly proud of each and every one of you that are holding all the weight, but you will push through what you need to push through. Be patient with yourself, and the view is going to be absolutely beautiful. People, when they go through breakups, they come out of it a better version of themselves. You literally blossom into this beautiful flower. There's a reason why everything that is so fucking traumatizing comes with the biggest growth moment and this feeling of like, holy shit, I was able to get through every single one of those hard days. And here I am. Okay, this one's eating carbs to fuel. This one relates to my body image issues. So when I always, restricted myself, I never could see myself in a world one day making myself want to like eat as many carbs as I could. Even when I really healed my relationship with food, I noticed when I weighed myself once during training, so I weighed more than I ever had. I was like, what the fuck? And then I also was at my point where I feel like I was the most underfueled I'd ever been. And I was like, what the fuck? How does this add up? But it does add up. But, I mean, scientifically, it'll add up. But in the mind that I had, it doesn't add up because I'm thinking like, I'm doing all this cardio. I don't really understand. The goal was not to lose weight. It just, I was weighing myself for the army and I just was confused by the numbers. But having to tell myself that I need to eat more was something that I never thought would be an issue with me. Like I always had this perception of myself that I was eating a lot. So coming to the realization of like, I have no energy because I'm not eating enough carbs was a little weird for me. I was just like, oh shit, like this is a real thing. Like I actually need to eat. Like I always say food is fuel, but like now it's really fuel. Like now I literally won't be able to keep running if I don't use it as fuel. Whereas like you could eat foods that are, let's say, really not going to help you focus during the day. Let's say it's like sugar or whatever. I don't know the research on it, but let's say there's certain foods that are going to help my ADHD, or there's some foods that are going to worsen it. And if you eat the foods that worsen the ADHD, okay, I go a day without focusing, not the worst thing in the world, very frustrating, but it's all right, whatever. But if you go on a run without carb loading, you literally feel like you're dying and you're like, fuck, I have to finish this run. This is really hard. And then you take a moment and you're like, oh, I actually need to focus on what I'm putting in my body and be intentional with it. I hadn't been intentional with my eating in years because for me, the whole point was for me to become unintentional about my eating because I was so intentional about it in the past. And I went through this big period of time where I was unintentional about my eating. It helped me a lot. It does help me. It helped me heal my relationship with food. But now I'm stepping into this part where I've healed a lot of the relationship I have with food. Now I need to really get behind the science of it and be like, what is going to help me during this? And what do these carbs do for me? What's this protein going to do for me? And what do I need to make sure I'm eating so I can help my body? And now I have to go back to being intentional about it. But now I'm intentional in a much healthier way because I've come a lot farther. So that's my lesson for eating carbs to fuel. My next one is 1 foot in front of the other. I tell myself this every ruck. I hate rucking. I think rucking is like the hardest thing in the world for me because every step I have literally shooting shin splints. But 1 foot in front of the other. Just keep on going. 1 foot in front of the other. That's how you get done with it. It's because a foot went in front of a foot, went in front of a foot, went in front of a foot. And then it went 4 miles. Then it went 8. Then it went 12. 1 foot in front of the other. Just keep on moving. Keep doing the damn thing. No matter how fucking bad it hurts, just keep putting 1 foot in the other. Because no matter how down bad you feel, you can always put 1 foot in front of the other. Always. And my last lesson I'm going to say for today is you didn't come this far to only come this far. This relates into real life. I didn't run 20 miles to give up on mile 20. I got 6 more to go. I didn't come this far to give up on myself. And this kind of relates to my business is when I feel like I'm not making any progress in my business, I just think I didn't come this far and do this many things to just quit. I didn't come this far to only come this far. I'm going to keep going and going and going no matter how long it takes me. Again, even if I'm crawling, I'm going to make it. You have survived 100% of all of your bad days. You didn't go through all that to give up now. Keep on going. You didn't come this far to only come this far. And that's all I'm going to say for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to shop my brand, Muscle Mommy, go to musclemommystore.com or follow me on Instagram. Everything is linked below. And if you guys want to write into the podcast, just DM me, or you could do it on my website as well. Again, everything is linked below. Thank you, everyone. Bye.